Hi, everyone, and welcome back to The Rise Factor. I am your host, Sarah. Today, I have a really special guest, and special because we connected many, many years ago when I was still a business development manager. We connected at one of the IGT conferences, and since that day, we have been following each other's journey and have stayed connected, even though we are countries apart. Welcome, Shadi, to the Rise Factor today.
Sarah, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor. And can I just say that our friendship, when we first started back in Brisbane many, many years ago, that since then I have watched your journey as well, and I have found you inspiring. And also, thank you so much for always, being supportive and recognizing all the things that I do. So I appreciate that about you. And I love catching up with you with your two men, your little one and your big one. When you're in New Zealand, you remind me of the day when I had the two boys and I didn't have any family support, and I'll be doing open homes and I'd have the boys, I was so determined to get lettings under my belt because we were remunerated by the number of leads, and if the girl that had the highest leads used to keep the work car. So I was like so determined. So you reminded me of that time with your boy here, Alistair, when you were here. So yeah, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Shadi, Shadi, not Shady, and I am a property manager first, then a business owner, a wife and a mother, and I'm based here in the beautiful Auckland in New Zealand.
Yes. What an introduction. I just love your realness. I knew that today when, we were having this podcast, I knew that we didn't have to rehearse or have things, to really talk about because I know with you that the conversation just flows naturally. Talking about inspiration, you just, I mean, every time I see you show up, you're inspiring yourself because I know that for some it's not easy to show up, Shadi, right? And what I love though is I know who you are, right? But your branding, it speaks so much volume about what you do and the work that you do in your community, the people that you are connected with. I always love seeing what outfits you're going to wear, Shadi.
Oh, really?
If I was in New Zealand, I would definitely be asking if I could borrow some of your outfits.
The funny thing is with my outfits, every 6 months I go through them and I give them away as well.
Oh.
Because if I wear it and take a photo in it in a video, I'm done with it. So I move on to the next style, next color.
Yeah.
But anytime, you're welcome.
Thank you. But talking about your marketing, I would love to just explore more into like your personal branding because earlier you said I'm a property manager first, then a business owner, and you can clearly see even though you are a business owner, just your love and your passion for property management, but your creativity. So, was there someone or something that inspired you when it came to your branding and how you would approach your digital marketing?
So I had worked for the big brands in the past, and as a property manager, as a letting agent, a little bit of sales assistant to a property manager. So when I say we, it's we now because there's other people in the business now.
Yeah.
And when I started Let's Rent, I started it with the idea of wanting to be the most caring, and so I tapped into my previous jobs, my previous bosses and experiences, and wanted to do some of the things that they didn't do. I wanted to, when I sat down with a landlord, I wanted to really have presence with them. And I wanted to celebrate those milestones with our landlords and with our tenants. An example of that yesterday, one of my landlords purchased a home and so left the ones that they were in for me. So I thought, okay, they've just got the keys to this beautiful house in a beautiful suburb and they've entrusted me with their rental in another area. I want to celebrate with them. So how do you celebrate? How do you show your excitement for them? And I saw Wayne was out and about. I said, hey, go and pick up a bouquet of flowers. I want to take it with me. And I've got beautiful Let's Rent ribbon. So flowers arrive in the car just very quickly. I wrap around the Let's Rent ribbon. So you can celebrate those moments without having to input a lot of time and resources, but still have a powerful impact with your clients. She was just in love with me yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, Sarah, it's about um, your clients and celebrating them and seeing them as people and recognizing what makes them happy and listening and just being there with them. I never, maybe I show up perfectly in a gown, but to be honest, I never show up perfect. I just show up for them. Sometimes you don't have to be perfect to be there holding hands with your clients or guiding them and giving them the right advice.
Yeah. The few things that you said that I loved, and we resonated so well with what you do, and my keynote at the PMC was about those milestone moments and how you can really elevate that experience for your clients because it's a big deal for them. And like, let's not
Yeah.
play it. Like, let's celebrate, like you said, the fact that they have an investment property, they're holding it and their investment property, or they've just purchased their dream home. And Shadi, what I love about you is you're so very open in what you do. And, people can see just from following you and seeing your marketing and branding things that you do. So for the BDMs and business owners listening, a few things that I want to highlight that you do that I think is great. And when you said about, you don't need a lot of time, you don't need a lot of resources, is gifts. So landlord gifts and renter gifts, so that when a renter is moving in, they feel at home. I really love that. And you can talk to us
Yeah.
about that. And the other thing that I love is you get your clients together. So I think it's every year you do, was it a lunch or a dinner that you do with some of your clients?
I recently I did a little lunch, and this time of the year, we get together with our landlords, just invite them for a dinner or a lunch. I sometimes go with a breakfast because I know people are busy, and I know that, especially around Christmas, that they may not have time for their property manager. So we do a breakfast. That means they can come, have some food, get together, exchange Secret Santa gifts, and then go on their way. So it's easier on them. And with our tenants, I'm just going to get up and show you something. Just
Yeah.
don't leave me.
Show us. I love it. Here's something that Shadi prepared earlier, everyone.
So at the moment, I've done different things, and we are doing candles at the moment.
Beautiful.
This is for a tenant that's moving in on the 21st of November. So we've got that. And the candles are, I think they worked out about $25 per unit.
Yeah.
They smell nice, different scents. And the ribbon here, it's got Let's Rent on it in our colors. And of course, full set of keys as well. These are ready to go. And our little keychain, I'm just so obsessed with these. So they form a heart when you leave them on the counter for the tenants.
So clever.
These little things matter. I
Yeah.
remember when I was working as a property manager, and there would be like one key left for the tenants, and I didn't have the skills or the confidence to ask the landlord, hey, we need more keys.
Yeah.
You've got husband and wife moving in, and we expect them to share a key. Your relationship with your tenant starts when they move into the property. I mean, prior to that, of course, you've got the application, tenancy application process, but also the basis of how good that relationship is going to be will start on the day they move in.
Yeah.
Having the right set of keys, having a light bulb that's working, having the lawns done. So going that little extra mile and just putting yourself in your tenant's shoes, like I'm paying 600, let's say 680, because that's the average rent currently. a week, hey, I want that person to show my property manager to show me a bit of effort, a bit of care. And you do that in those little things that
Yeah.
it's worked for me.
I have a
It's,
question.
yeah.
So, because you've been like working in a business before and now you're a business owner, because predominantly we've got a lot of BDMs listening right now, and they're perhaps like you and me were back in the day when
Mhm.
we used to work for the big brands, being like, I want to do that, but who should pay for it? Should it be the director pay for it, or do you think that the BDM should be, forking out some money because they're getting a commission on the listing?
I think as a BDM or even as a property manager, you need to invest in your own name, in
Mm.
your own brand, in the way you show up.
Hmm.
Whether it be going to a conference, whether it allowing $20, $30 out of your own pay to buy a fruit basket or to buy a candle. You do these things for yourself, for
Mm.
your relationship with the people that you have. So if you've got a boss and there's budget, great. If not, I would not rely on my boss.
Hmm.
When I was working for my previous company, I still built my own personal brand under the umbrella
Yeah.
and with respect, with care. Obviously, didn't cross, the lines of working under their brand inappropriately. It was all done properly. But
Yeah.
it's important to invest in yourself and not to rely on a boss.
Yeah. I agree.
That's my take on it.
$20. I mean, I did a poll recently and the average BDM commission per property is 250 to $500. So when you look at the commission that they're getting versus, a candle for $20 that you can buy in bulk and perhaps even, reduce that cost if you're listing, anywhere from 200 to 300 properties a year and you're like, oh, well, that's a lot of money. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting a lot of money too from onboarding these properties. And when we're looking at retention and getting more referrals, what are you willing to spend to retain a client and also to get more referrals? Because I mean, it's much cheaper to buy a $20 candle than if you
Yeah.
get a referral for your current client than if you were to subscribe to local agent finder and pay them 1.5 weeks letting fee for a listing, right? I
Yeah.
mean, look at the costs associated with that. So I
It's
think it's
worth
brilliant that
it.
we address that. Yeah.
Yeah, and just coming back to this, Sarah, you know how I said I delivered flowers to this new client?
Yeah.
Until I turned up outside their house yesterday, I didn't know they had bought a development potential property. So what she said to me, we are building here and they are yours too. So
Yeah.
just like that.
Just like
And so
that.
it makes it worth it. You are investing in your future clients and in your future income. So it's
Yes.
good return. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I
Mm.
love that you are so aware of that. One thing that you did talk to me, and I've still have forgotten this name. I must write it down when you tell me today. When you onboard a new client, you have them fill out a certain form that you call it a
Yeah.
name, to help you then personalize the experience. Can you tell us more about that?
This is what I call, I just made it up, by the way.
Yeah.
It's nothing fancy. It's just called We Care form. And
Yeah,
in
that's
that
it.
form, it collects the client's name and the month of their birth, and also what sort of beverages they like, a cup of coffee or tea or champagne, and the method of preferred communication they like from me.
Mhm.
Questions like what are your property investment goals, and what are your hobbies.
Mm.
No, I hadn't again in the past had met a business developer manager or business owner or a property manager that actually took interest in a client outside of how many bedrooms does your house have.
Yeah.
Why have you bought this house? What is your long intention in for this property?
Mm.
So I took I took the opportunity to get to know my clients, so I know who they are and how I could be of service to them, and of course to retain them as well.
Yeah.
And that's been really good. So I write handwritten birthday cards every month. I've got a spreadsheet, and I go and buy bulk, like the ladies and the men, and once a month, put them in the post, and it's a nice feeling because it also, Sarah, keeps my handwriting still.
Yeah, that's so true. Because how often do we write down, right?
Never,
Yeah.
never. Having said that, I still have a paper diary where I do like a to-do list daily.
Yes, I'm the
Yeah,
same. I'm the same.
yeah. Yeah.
So Shadi, with that We Care form, would you send that to a client before you're going out and appraising their property? Like, so leads come in, you speak to them, would you send that out before going to see them?
When they've shortlisted me,
Yeah.
when I'm confident, because I'll send them my management authority and that form and another book that I have. It's called the Landlord, Let's Learn Landlord Handbook.
Yeah.
So the three of them together, and not like I've had clients where they don't return it,
Mm.
and I'm fine with that as well. But some of them, oh, I get a birthday card actually. Nobody
Yeah.
else sends me one, so let me.
Definitely. I think it's
Yeah.
a big point of value. And I think when we're looking at, and, I've been talking about this for the last 3 years now. And, that word keeps coming up today because clearly it's part of your branding and that care. It's like, if we want to continue in property management and we want to continue to have that human centric approach, we have to be able to showcase that care. So, BDMs or directors listening, I don't care if you're doing 10 or 100 listings a month, you have to show that care in your clients. And Shadi has done a very simple procedure that allows her clients to feel seen and valued and participate in that if they choose to, which I think is great, Shadi. Like, you're giving them the option, to tell you that information. Because, some clients are a bit more, reserved than others, right?
Yeah, and I've got like a couple of big investors, and they're not interested in a birthday card, and they just
Yeah,
want their houses filled, the income paid to them, and they're not into the fluffy part of,
yeah,
yeah.
for
I think
sure.
to yeah, yeah, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love some of your content that you put out. There was, some of them makes me laugh. Definitely some I know you
Mm.
strategically for engagement. Do you come up with all of your marketing yourself, or do you have assistance with that?
I come up with it all myself, believe it
Wow.
or not.
Wow.
Recently, I was asked if I wasn't a property manager, what would I be? I said, well, too old for pole dancing. And the other thing is like a florist or a writer. I've got this crazy, beautiful, creative side to me,
You do.
and yeah, and I'm like, I'll be doing something, and my mind is always going, always thinking, and I watch a little bit of other people's reels and videos, and I read, so you get inspired.
Mm,
I never want to copy anybody, and if I do something that's a trend, I put my own spin on it.
yeah.
And my latest two clients this just month have come from Instagram. They
Yeah.
see me on there, and goes back to, what they say, that people like to work with people they like.
Mhm.
And so through my Instagram and my socials, I've already built rapport with these people. They already know me. So come decision made, it's Shadi, I saw one of your videos. And we have to remember, Sarah, how powerful social media is. I see real estate agents dropping flyers in a neighborhood. Takes them a
Mm.
few hours to put those flyers in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then that flyer gets wet from the letterbox to the kitchen bench. Nobody looks at it, and then to the bin.
Mm.
And that's going to take about 2 weeks for that flyer potentially to sit in front of a client. Whereas social media, you do a
Instant.
post and you've got 200
Yeah.
people seeing it. I mean, I know some of them are just my friends.
That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. But
Um,
it's powerful.
yeah, it is. So
Yeah.
with that, Shadi, like I know that there's definitely going to be, some people listening going like, okay, where do I start or how do I do it? But what I want to first address, Shadi, is that you've done such a great job in, because it's not just you now, right? Like Let's Rent isn't
Yeah.
just, but you showcase you showcase your family, you showcase you even exercising, you showcase, your clients. I feel like there's no filter in what you share. So is that the case, or do you still filter some of your life?
Look, there's a bit of filter there.
Okay, all right.
we have to think it's still PG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a little bit of that. There is a filter, like certain things I don't show. But I am the sort of person, I'm an open book. I don't gatekeep. I am me. I'm confident in myself and the way I look and the way I show up. And the one thing I have to remember is that I do not show up on Instagram when I've got emails that are not answered,
Mhm.
right? The confidence I have online is because I've got my numbers to back me.
Yeah.
I've got clients that are satisfied. I've got clients that are not waiting for a response, and I've booked in open homes for those houses that are vacant. I don't want my clients seeing me online, Shadi, drinking champagne and
Mm.
dressing up and doing
Haven't heard
selfies
from you. Yeah.
when they haven't heard from me. So you've got to get that right, the fundamentals of your job and your integrity and
Yeah.
the service you promise to deliver that, then show up here.
Yeah.
That's my thing on it anyway. Yeah.
I love
And yeah, and in showcasing what I do, our business, and of course I'm always careful keeping our tenants' privacy, our landlords' privacy at the same time as well. So there's some serious filters in there at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, a couple of things there that you said is, you've got self-confidence in
Mm.
yourself and know who you are. And I think when it comes to showing up online, I think this is my belief is when you are confident in yourself and you have that self-acceptance and you can just look at warts and all, as they say it, right? Like no one's
Yeah.
perfect, just embracing our true self, then there's no
Yeah.
limitations then. So do you think that that's where you would start, is getting confident in yourself and just being comfortable in the skin you're in before you start, showing up online?
You have to be, whether you show up online or not, you have to be comfortable in who you are.
Mm.
And if you're not, why are you not comfortable? Is it, I don't know, whether you need to exercise, whether you need to eat better? I don't know. I'm not an expert on that field. But for me, what makes me comfortable is knowing that, hey, I've done my morning exercise, I'm eating well, in my job I upskill myself whenever I can. I go to courses, I go to conferences. So the work confidence comes from constantly upskilling yourself, and your personal confidence comes from waking up a bit earlier, going for a run, or getting your hair done, or getting your nails done, investing in yourself,
Yeah.
and get your ducks in a row, be in a good relationship as well. That's with your friends,
Mm.
that's with your partner, husband, wife. That is important for me as well. I know that I'm married to a great guy, and he is a big supporter as well. So these things help in how I show up and being confident in myself.
Yeah, beautiful
Yeah.
there. So, Shadi, I thought that I knew you, and when I heard you step on stage at the PMC,
Mm.
and you were very vulnerable in your talk, and I know that so many people were so just they were impressed, they were inspired by sharing your stories. So can you take us back and when you share with what you're comfortable with to how you've gotten to where you are today, right? Because people will see that Shadi now and the success now.
Yeah.
How's your journey gotten to where you are today?
Yeah, I ended my note, my keynote on going back to who made me who I am, and we're talking at a professional capacity. I have had great leaders, bosses that have believed in me and saw my potential before I did, and provided the resources and skills and guided me along the way. And if there was one manager that I can come back to today, is a lady called Tracy Preston. She's a Barfoot and Thompson manager not far away from us. It was a point in my time where I had separated from my husband. I had the two boys. My family had disowned me. And this manager saw that something was up with me. She pulled me aside and said, Shadi, what's going on? And I explained everything to her. Like, my mum wasn't allowed to go and pick up my kids because of family issues. That's how bad it was. And she goes, well, we're going to have to change this for you. So she grabbed a rental list from a reception desk. We're talking 15 years ago, Sarah. And she goes, we're going to move you out the house you are in Papakura. We're going to move you here. She helped me with finding a house. She helped me with changing the school for the boys. And so gave me that foot in the door into becoming who I am, and gave me that confidence. And this is a manager that all the things that she did, they were not part of her job description. This is part of being human, part of seeing potential in somebody and helping them, get it out. So I have had good help along the way. And yeah, and as you know, my previous background, I'm a refugee girl that came to New Zealand at around 13, and had to learn English, believe it or not. Still learning, still struggle with some words, but I've always believed in investing in myself and surrounding myself with the right people, giving back where I can to be where I am today. Yeah.
So many of us have been, cheering you on, and I think you do such a great job, Shadi, in celebrating other people in our profession as well, not just your clients and your tenants and anyone else who's in your network, but you do such a great job of giving back to the industry and its whole. And it's no wonder that you have won so many awards and are recognized for what you do in your community. It's just brilliant. Shadi, I always like to ask, what is one piece of advice, if whether it's to a new BDM or a BDM that's been in the industry for a while and is just feeling maybe a bit stagnant at the moment, what's some advice that you could give to these BDMs?
What would that advice be if I was getting a little bored? I don't know, change your job.
Get a new job, change office.
Yeah, yeah.
Challenge yourself.
Challenge, yeah. A
Yeah.
new job, a new role, a fresh set of eyes, a new environment. A potentially more pay as well.
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I was 3.5 years at one office, and I loved it there. I loved the team. I loved the area that I worked in, but I was feeling stagnant. I was ready for the next thing. And I had a sales team at that time. And then I went and worked at a property management only agency, and that challenged me in ways that I never thought was possible. But also, I really then, I suppose, without being ignorant or egotistical, I proved myself to myself. I was like, okay, I actually am a really good BDM, because I went and I didn't have the leads that I was getting from that sales office. So I pushed myself, but also that growth and evolution comes from change and discomfort.
Yeah. Like the novelty of a new office, of a new boss, of a new work relationship, of a new system, they just, I don't know, reset you. It's like, hey, I can do this. And you want to, you're good at it, but you've got other people now to prove yourself to.
Yeah.
So I think it's one way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One thing that you've said it a few times is, invest in yourself. So I think, no matter if you're a new BDM or that's been a BDM for years, I think we should always have like a mentor or a coach. And you and I have had, similar, same coaches in the past. And now we've got different coaches and mentors for where we are now. So is that something that you strongly suggest for BDMs to have, is a mentor and a coach, whether that is they invest in themselves or their directors invest in that kind of training for them?
I think it's important for anyone to have a mentor and somebody they aspire to be like, or somebody they can learn from me. It's been a catalyst in my success, as I've always had somebody that I've looked up to and that has mentored me, because you can't become complacent and say, I know everything, I'm self motivated, I've
Mm.
got this under control. We don't. It's good to have somebody to, especially if you are someone that isn't very good with self accountability.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, having somebody to hold you accountable, it's very good. I hold myself accountable to myself, but uh, not when it comes to the gym. And that's why I pay Rochelle just to go to the gym. I mean, I love running and I love exercising, but into the gym I don't, you know.
Yeah.
But once I'm there, I have great time. So
Same.
it's yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think like I need that tough love, Shadi. So my trainer,
yeah,
her name's Laura, and I'm just like when I'm there, I'm like, you got
yeah,
to train me hard, push me. Like that's a time where
yeah,
full
yeah,
permission, push me.
yes,
I want to, and we're there for a reason, right? To be for the betterment of our health. And I
yeah,
think that's the same with mentors and coaches. Like we need someone that will challenge us, push us, so that we can
yeah,
get to that next level and the next level.
yeah.
Because when it comes to growth, we have to look at growth in ourselves so that we can help other people on their investor journeys.
Exactly. Like with Rochelle, she put a weight on of whatever exercise we're doing. I was like, oh no, that's too heavy. She says, Shadi, you've done more.
Yeah.
I've got a video of you doing 10 times more than you can do it. So
Yeah.
sometimes, we forget. We
Yeah.
forget our potential. We forget how good we are. And having a mentor that
Mm.
holds you accountable reminds you that, hey, you are more than capable, goes a long way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, Shani, that's all we've got time for today. But I wanted to say again, thank you so much for joining the Rise Factor today and sharing, a bit of a glimpse into your world. I really encourage anyone who has listened to the podcast today or watched on YouTube is, give Shadi a follow and some love. You will definitely be entertained for sure. You will
Thank you.
definitely be inspired, and you can definitely feel the love through, the phone when it comes to Shadi. So a big congratulations, Shadi, on everything that you have achieved to date. And I really look forward to, continuing our friendship and always cheering you on from the sidelines. You're just absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Sarah. Really admire you. Thank you for this opportunity as well.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
As always, everyone, keep rising.